This was supposed to be a film by Mr. Watley. Mrs. Corley had too many gin and tonics. Mrs. Lewis said no, no one else would have a go. So now it's time for Mrs. Stevens' Phonics. This was supposed to be a film by Mr. Watley. Mrs. Corley had too many gin and tonics. Mrs. Lewis said no, no one else would have a go. So now it's time for Mrs. Stevens' Phonics.
Hello everybody and welcome to Phonics with Mrs. Stevens. Who knew we'd be back so soon? But it's so lovely to see you all. Hope everybody's okay. Make sure you're sitting up or standing up straight. Make sure you're warming up your brain, ready for some super duper phonics. I want to hear you joining in because that's the way we learn these sounds. Keep practicing, keep reminding our brain. So make sure that I can hear you. Nice and loud everybody, here we go. Wah or ha. Join in with me. Ah. Ch. Ch. U or oo. Ear. J. S. N. S. N. O. Ear. E. O. Well done everyone, great job. Okay, so hopefully your brains are warmed up. Now you can pause me in a moment if you need to, but we are on page 30, day 14 of Workbooks. I've got a black and white version and I've done some writing already because I've been working hard. Day 14 of Phonics and we are on page 30. So make sure you've got your workbook handy. Also, could you please make sure you've got a plain piece of paper with you as well as your pencil, because we are going to need to draw some of our own phoneme frames today because there aren't any in the workbook, and there may even be space at the back of your workbook. So quickly pause me if you need to. Make sure you've got a pencil, some plain paper and your workbook open to page 30, then we are good to go. Okay, hopefully everyone has got what they need. Now, you should be able to see that on my board behind me, I have got some words. Now, don't forget, we are learning at the moment, same sound, different spelling. So we're listening for the sounds and then we're looking for the way that they are spelled. Same sound, different spelling. Hearing the sound, looking at the spelling. So that's where we're going. Exactly the same as we've been doing in class over the last couple of weeks. So let's have a look together. I've got my pen ready for some phoneme buttons. You are good at those. Let's read these words together. So here we go. Join in with me. Fix. Fix. Oh, okay. Fix. Now, this word begins with what sound? What did you hear? Okay, keep that in your head. I'm just going to do a little line under it. Really important. Let's look at the next word and see if we can hear the same sound. Okay, here we go. With me. Cliff. Ah, could you hear the f here and f here? Remember, we're listening for the sound and then looking for the spelling. We're hearing the sound and we're looking at the different way that that is being spelt. Next word, here we go. With me. Phone. Okay, can you hear the f sound again? Yeah, we heard it here, didn't we? And we heard it here. And we heard it here. Same sound, different spelling. Let's look at this one all the way over here. It is this. Cough. Ooh, cough. Cough. Now I'm looking. And I can hear the f at the end. And it must be those two letters. That's an unusual spelling, isn't it? GH making the f sound. We've not looked at that one before. So let's just recap then. We're listening for the sound f, and we can see it here as in fix, f on its own, one F on its own. Over here, in cliff. End sound this time, and because it's an end sound, it's two F's together. We wouldn't spell it that way if it was a beginning sound, but it's an end sound, two F's together. And then we've got phone, and we can hear the again, but this time it's being spelled with a PH. And then all the way over here, we've got off, final sound, and it's spelled with a GH. We've got 4 different ways that the sound can be spelled. F on its own, 2 F's together, PH, and then we've got GH. I wonder if you can think of any other words with the sound in, but look the same as these, so it's spelled in the same way. You can pause me now and see if you can write them just underneath where those words are in your workbook. So where we've got the words written, you can underline the spelling there, and then underneath you could write the words. See if you can have a go. Did you do it? So like me, we've spotted where the sounds are in those words, and now we're going to think of other words spelled in the same way with the same sound. So another word which has a on its own, the F on its own making the sound. I can think of, oh, I know, we could write the word, I'm going to use a different colour, I'm going to use my purple. Here we go, we could write the word couldn't we? That's the same, isn't it? What about with the double F? I'm thinking of the story of the Three Little Pig where the wolf huffs, he huffs and he puffs. So let's have a go with puff. So we've got foot, puff. What about phone? Another word with the spelling in. I've got one. Phonics with Mrs. Stevens. That's the same, isn't it? Phonics. Phonics. That's got the PH sound in, hasn't it? And then last of all, that GH. There's not many words with that spelling, actually. So that's not one I would choose to use very often because it's very unusual. But I was thinking about this one. Enough, everybody. Enough. ENOUGH. And we've got that at the end with the GH. Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's what I need you to do. I am going to wipe clean my board. I would like you to draw yourself a phoneme frame with 4 spaces in. We might not need 4 spaces, but it's easier if we do that. Do you think you can do that? I'm going to do the same on my board. So while I'm cleaning and drawing my own, you can have a go at drawing yourself a phoneme frame with 4 spaces in on your piece of paper. Off you go. Here we are. Doesn't matter if it's all wonky. You know what mine's like. It's bound to be wonky. So I'm going to draw mine now. So you draw yours if you haven't already. Mine is wonky, so it really doesn't matter if yours is too. 4 spaces in my phoneme frame. Okay, so the first word, and if you're not ready, you can just pause me at any point. The first word that we are going to have a go at writing is from. We often put that in a card, don't we? To whoever, happy birthday or whatever the card is for. Love, from. Let's sound it out together, phoneme fingers. From. 1, 2, 3, 4 phonemes. 4 spaces, we need them all. So I'm going to do the sound button, you will write the letters to match. So we've got from. Go, can you write the letters to match? Let's spell the word from. Okay. Good job, everyone. Now, I was wondering whether I should do 2 F's together. What do you think? It's the first sound. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's only an end sound, isn't it? Or a middle sound, not a beginning sound. So I think I'm going to go with this. Shout me out the letter I need. Yes, I need the F. What's next? Tell me. Yeah, we need the R. What's next? Yes, we need the O. Don't forget to use the letter names. Don't want the sounds. I want the letter names for spelling. Last one. Yes, we need the letter M. Good job. From. Fantastic, everybody. Let's try another one. So you can pause me whenever you need to. Let's draw another phoneme frame together with 4 spaces. Here I go. I'm drawing mine. It's really wonky this time. It doesn't matter if yours is too. The important part is that we're practicing sounding out words and writing them, isn't it? That's the important thing. Wonky phoneme frames don't matter. Are you ready? Okay, this time we are going to try the word puff. Remember the wolf, he huffs and he puffs. So puff. Here we go. So sound out on our fingers. Puff. So 1, 2, 3 phonemes on that one, isn't there? So we don't need that end box. I'm going to write the sound buttons. You're going to write the letters. Puff. Oh, I've given you a clue, haven't I? Can you see the zip there? That's the clue, isn't it? About what letters you need to use. Go. Have you done it? Okay, puff. Remember, call out the letter names. What letter do I need for the P sound? Good. I need the P. What's next? Good. I need the U. Next one. Yes, I need F together. P, F. Good job, everyone. Well done. Now, I wonder if we can manage one more. I've got to rub mine off again. I think I'm just going to try and clear that one out. Quickly draw yourself one more phoneme frame. I wonder if we are ready. Okay, now 4 won't be enough. We're going to try a really hard word. I'm feeling a bit tricky today, so I've got a really hard word up my sleeve. Now, those of you that have got big brothers or sisters may have heard this word, especially if they were learning about Egypt. Now, there are things in Egypt, some particular statues, and they're called the Sphinx. It's a bit like a sphere. Do you remember when we've done that, when we've done shape? A Sphinx. Let's sound that out. It's really tricky. Can you help me? X. 5 sounds, and I've only got 4 boxes. I'm going to have to add another one on. And you, can you add another one on? Here we go. Now we're going to have a go at writing it. That is so tricky. Here we go, everyone. Sphinx. So first one. There's your clue. Sphinx. Oh my goodness, that's tough. You write the letters to match. Pause me if you need to. Are you ready? Call out those letter names. First sound. What letter do I need? Yes, we need the S. What's next? The S. Yes, it's the PH spelling of the F sound. What's next? Yes, we need the I. Oh, it looks like an E. Not very good writing, Mrs. Stevens. What's next? Good. Call out the name. Yes, it's the N for the N. And then final sound, the X. Yes, we need the letter X. Hopefully you can read that. Sphinx. That was a really tricky one, wasn't it? A bit like sphere is being a tricky one as well. Okay, I think that's enough with our phoneme frames today. Good job, everyone. I hope you managed that okay. Our very last job, we've got 2 sentences written in our workbook, and we are going to read them, and we're going to have a go at underlining the letters that are making the F sound today. So we're thinking about hearing the F and then looking at the letters that make that sound. So just while you're getting ready for that, I am going to turn my board around because I've got those sentences written on my board. You've got them in your workbook, so you can get a quick start. Okay. Let's make sure that you can see that clearly. I hope you can. You've got it in your workbook anyway if it's a bit tricky. So let's look at this first one together. Let's read it together. Remember, as you read through in your workbook, you can underline the letters that are making the f sound in the words. Here we go. Tricky word, the. We know that one. Ooh, let's sound this one out. We're not sure. D, o, u, f, in. Dolphin. Dolphin. The dolphin flaps his fins. The dolphin flaps his fins. Okay, so what letters are making that f sound? I can see the PH, dolphin, and he flaps, so I've got that one there. His fins, so I've got the F on its own there. So we've got the PH spelling of the f sound, F on its own and F on its own. So let's try this next one now. Good job, everyone. Here we go. The fox, uffs, huffs, and puffs, and offs, coughs. The fox huffs and puffs and coughs. Sounds like he's a bit poorly, doesn't it? What letters are making the f sounds? Can you spot them and underline them? We've got the f for fox, the letter F. We've got the two F's together for the uffs. And he put uffs, two F's together again. And then we've got the GH there, offs. So we learned that there were 4 different ways today of spelling the f sound. And we practiced those together. You can check back in your workbook if you need to. Great job, everyone. Lots of hard work. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
This was supposed to be a film by Mrs. Corley. Mr. Watley couldn't work the electronics. Mrs. Lewis said no, no one else would have a go. So now it's time for Mrs. Stevens Phonics. This was supposed to be a film by Mrs. Corley. Mr. Watley couldn't work the electronics. Mrs. Lewis said no, no one else would have a go. So now it's time for Mrs. Stevens Phonics.